This meeting comes out of the priorities of the Global Trans Research and Advocacy Project, which is a follow-on to the successes that we had with the National Transgender Discrimination Survey in the U.S., which was a joint project of the National Center for Transgender Equality and the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force. Its groundbreaking report, Injustice at Every Turn, was published in February of 2011. And since then, we've had many, many policy gains in the U.S. related to the report, and we wanted to share both our grassroots research process, which we think really attributed to the success of the report that trans people crafted these questions, about trans people for trans people, and we also want to share our findings because it's the largest sample of transgender experience anywhere in the world. 6,500 people answered 70 questions about the full range of discrimination that they're experiencing in their lives, and we wanted to share both of those things with incredible activists that we're meeting here in Cape Town.
People are putting their lives on the line every day just to organize, whether it's within their organizations or within support groups that people don't know about. So there's a challenge there in terms of what kind of laws exist around their identities, and dealing with just everyday obstacles of whether it's poverty, so I think that's one of the major things that we've come across.
I am identified as a male to female, or as a shoga, or a person who's a companion who has a relationship with a woman, but they are like friends. It's different for a straight man or for a guy being called as shoga because you are like a female. So it's like that, and sometimes it's very scary because at the office it's terrible, since even when women sees me, they see me as a threat. Because we're working with the community. So the community, once they see me, I have to find clothes in order to fit, like a trouser, which is big, or you have to wear a shirt, which doesn't represent, because I want to be me, but I cannot. I have to fit within the community settings.
If, for example, you're asking about a person's gender, or what their gender is, or even the question itself is problematic, because some people just feel like, they're genderless, if I may say. There are people who identify as that. So if you ask a person what's your gender, it's still also very restricted.
The term transgender is wide, and we always understand it as a wide umbrella term. But some people don't identify with it, and we have to find a way of creating an inclusive space for those people, and for them to own their gender non-conforming identities within the space.
My case back at home is that my ID will change and my passport subsequently, but my original birth certificate that the state holds on to will not change, because apparently that is an original true record that I was born male. But now with the material changes that have happened, it means the ID and passport need to change and somewhat reflect that out of current.
Trans women are worrying, where do I sleep tonight? Where can I get something to eat tonight? For them, toilets, gender-neutral toilets, are not as much as important for now. For them is survival. How can I survive?
There is this religious, masculine, patriarchal aspect within the Egyptian society that even doesn't allow you to just express who you are. So I'll be seeing people here or in Kenya or in any other place within the African continent expressing themselves in a certain way that is no way could happen in Egypt. It's a life risk. You could lose your life. If you have a cold, if you have, an ache, how do you access the basics being a gender non-conforming person? I think those are the immediate things that people, I think, from the Eastern Cape presentation and also from other regions as well. It's just health is the hugest thing, and taking it forward seems insurmountable because it's located within, a broader health crisis in each and every country.
Trans people in Lesotho do need the their needs are based on health. So if we're taking off health, we can touch so many angles.
All wants to have boobs. Everyone wants to have. But how can I have them? Because if I have them, my mother won't accept me. She'll cry, and then she already cried. Now she'll cry a lot. So that also is my fear.
I need to start to do research with transgender women, either in my own capacity or either in my work capacity as the outreach coordinator of gender dynamics, to write out a research where we interview trans women, trans females, to hear what are their needs. Why are they not willing to lead up in this movement? Why are it's lesbians and it's trans men that are leading us, and what are their position in this?
As we've been going on with the training, hadn't believed that they had the skills to do this type of work. And what we've been talking about throughout these day and a half now has been that people come to the table with the skills to do this, whether it's storytelling, whether it's documentary to video, photography, all of these things. So we're kind of trying to step outside the box in terms of academic research, which is very important, but we also have to integrate all other kinds of research that are very valid.
Building and capacitating these women to actually be spoken, to be very vocal, to be very free, to be very confident and sure of exactly who they are, what they stand for, such that at a point where now we trying to really build this movement, it has individuals in it that are strong like any other chess pieces that go on a chessboard.
I think we need to work on a language that we all understand. And might not be the same language, but a language, an ethos rather, that we all understand and we all feel like it captures us. What I found beneficial is just the array of topics that were explored and the possibilities, and also just on a productive note is just how much there needs to be done. I think, individually we're doing a lot, but on a collective basis, like there's so much information that still needs to be, brought forward, and also stories to be told, and how people are experiencing their transness and how it's different in different places. I think we must be very keen to have those spaces that connect us, keep the communication, exchange the tools, the experiences, everything, and make sure that we rotate. So next time in the next trans health conference, it shouldn't be me. Maybe it should be other 3 individuals.
I'd love to be able to tell people in the United States and in Europe that the country with the best trans-related legal framework in the world is Argentina, because I think that people assume that it's basically a white country. It would either be the U.S. or it would be Europe or Sweden or whatever. And it's not the case. It's South America. It's sort of global South, a country with a colonization history. I think that's really cool to be able to say.
I don't know when, but I wish one day we'll be over these issues, and maybe we're discussing, we're in a genderless world, or I don't know. I'm very dreamy, so I don't know. But that keeps me going on. Otherwise, I'll be really depressed and committing suicide. So it's good to have this dreamy part. Yeah, but that's it.
There's so many ways in which we can make visibility happen. So I think, despite those challenges, we still have to make media in that way. We have to tell our stories. We have to find ways of connecting our issues so that they're not so insulated, so that it doesn't become an Eastern Cape problem. It becomes a global problem. It's not a South African issue or a Tanzania issue. It's a regional issue.